Hey kids, today I'm just doing more Blackwing combos. I labbed out some new lines and just put in some stuff that I forgot to put in past ones. Before I didn't really have enough to justify a full video, but now I do, so here it is. Don't mind the WoW Warriors in the side for the deck list that you see in front of you. I'm still trying to figure out what those are. Right now I'm experimenting with Bistrels, but I feel like that's a little too much Grave Hate. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, let's just get straight into it. For our first replay, we'll be showing how to play under Dweller. On surface, Dweller doesn't really do that much, but some people do make it blind to play around Unchained, and ultimately Dweller can potentially fuck us up because it prevents us from adding cards back to hand with Shamal. But here is what you do. Let's say you have just Seamoon and the Banish. We go activate Seamoon, placing Whirlwind to normal summon it, and then add from deck to hand Sudri. Sudri is going to activate in chain with the Whirlwind. This is all pretty standard. We're grabbing our usual searches, pitching the Shamal for Feather Whirlwind, and then summoning Vada, then activating Vada's effect to go for Blackwing Dragon. Unfortunately, we aren't able to use this Zephyros, so it's just there for follow-up. From here, we'll use Sudri, tributing the Seamoon for a level 2 token and placing a count on Blackwing Dragon, then go into Berea Storm and chain block it by bringing back Sudri. We'll mill a Sharnga with the Berea Storm, and cash out the stored burn with the Blackwing Dragon, then go for Dispater. We'll banish for the Tax Dragon, and then Dispater back this copy of Berea Storm to make Fallen Master, and they're probably dead unless they have, like, more stuff. They probably do have more stuff, but this is just the basic setup. If they're not dead, and this breaks the board, they still have to contend with the Sharnga Engrave on top of the towers and the Dispater, as well as the Tax Dragon, obviously. So that's how you play under Dweller. Now this one I don't expect to be quite as relevant, but it is possible you'll see Silent Graveyard as a tech card, given that Dweller is a really good card, and this card is Dweller that doesn't take an extra deck slot. So, the key difference between Silent Graveyard and Dweller is that Dweller prevents you from activating effects, while Silent Graveyard just negates them. You'll see how this changes things in just a minute. We'll start like normal, using Seamoon to place Whirlwind, and then summon itself, then triggering the Whirlwind to go grab the Sudri the Phantom Glimmer, which is going to activate in sequence with the Whirlwind to grab Vada and Shamal. From here, we'll pitch the Shamal to place Feather Whirlwind, then summon Vada, and use this effect, milling a couple for Blackwing Dragon. Feather Whirlwind brings back the Vada, and then we'll go ahead and activate the Zephyros, knowing it'll be negated because it bounces this per cost to reset the soft once per turn. We'll go for Berea Storm and chain block it with a Shamal we know is getting banished, milling a Sharga, then go for Dispater to bring back this copy of Chinook, and go for Blackwing Dragon. We'll summon back our banished Shamal, go for Fallen Master, and that's the turn. If you want to conserve your once per duel on Zephyros, you can choose not to use this Feather Whirlwind, and the only thing you lose is the Chinook, but being able to have this negate and attack reduction is pretty useful. So, it might come up, it's an option. Next up, here's a line that plays under Shifter. I have covered this before, but I believe that was actually pre-Dispater, so here's how things change. We're going to have the Shifter activate, and then activate our copy of Seamoon, banishing Seamoon to place Whirlwind, and then normal summon the Seamoon. Whirlwind here is going to add Sudri, and then we're going to normal Sudri and activate in sequence both Whirlwind and the Sudri. Here we'll add Auster and Twin Shadow. We'll tribute off the Seamoon for a Phantom Glimmer token, then Synchro for Nathung to burn for 800, and more importantly, double summon the Auster. We'll chain block the Whirlwind Search by summoning back the Sudri and adding Vada to hand, then special to Vada, and make Blackwing Dragon into Dispater. Blackwing Dragon will bring back this Vada, then we can go for Draco Berserker, set 1, and pass turn. The Twin Shadow allows us to make a copy of Blackwing Fallen Master, and most importantly, puts Auster back into the extra deck so we can conserve our resources. Pretty neat. And here's how you play through Shifter with a little bit more. In this case, it's Shifter Ash. So our opponent is going to Shifter us, and then we are going to start like normal with the Seamoon. With all these situations where we're playing through an Ash, we're acting on the assumption that our opponent doesn't Ash this Whirlwind, because realistically speaking, why would they? Unless they know for a fact we have nothing in hand, they're never going to Ash this unless they're like actually just awful at the game, because any normal summon just immediately kills them into the sun. So we'll add our copy of Sudri, then normal the Sudri, and activating sequence Sudri and Whirlwind, and our opponent is going to Ash here because there is not a second better target. This is actually relevant. This does come up a lot. So unfortunately, because this is kind of, if they hold it past this, they literally lose the game because they will not get a second chance to Ash. But this is the correct point for them to Ash. If they don't want to make the call out that we have a normal summon in hand. Because the point to Ash normally is Vada, the Emblem of Honor, but because Vada sends all the materials to the graveyard for effect, and then summons if it sends, you're never going to be activating Vada, because under Shifter, it just sends, it just banishes itself. It's just a waste of a card. So this is the point where they would Ash. Anyway, we'll add Oster and then sack off the Seamoon for Phantom Glimmer token and go for Nothung, burning for 800, and then normal summoning Oster. This is going to trigger in sequence Oster and Whirlwind, and from here we're basically just playing like the last combo, making the Dispater, making the Draco Berserker, but without the trap card, which is still fine. Our opponent's down to a 3-card hand. They're staring down a lot of interaction, and they probably boarded on the assumption that Dimension Shifter would completely end your turn. So, pretty cool. Good job. And also important to note, you still have 3 cards in your hand that are unknowns. This gets a lot better with more cards to work with. For example, if you can find a way to get another tuner into rotation, like a Shamal, like a Sharga, you can go so much further than this, and then you're just never losing. It's kind of incredible. Hope this all helped, and see you next time.